Welcome in, everybody. How y'all doing? Great to have you all here. And holy cow, can you believe it? I can't even get myself in screen properly. You would think after 400 streams I could figure things out, but here we are. I did not mute myself to start the stream. I think we're moving forward. I think we're moving forward. Glad to have you all in. We've got our 400th stream of Out of the Park Baseball today. And I have nothing special planned other than talk about the beta, talk about some baseball news, the typical stuff we do here on the channel. And maybe some shenanigans. And maybe, whatever. So it is a happy 400. I could not do it without all you here. Thank you all for being here. And again, let's make this a fun session hanging out. The world is insane sometimes, and sometimes you need a little escape. We're here for a little escape. Uh, and would love to, talk some baseball. But really, doing this has been fun, mainly because you all show up. 4 copies of Kevin Nelson variant, nice. And having you guys here makes a lot of fun. Thank you so much, PMU Style 74 for following the channel. Thank you for hanging out and being part of the crew. Yes, those missions are, yeah. If you're doing the PT26 beta, just finish one of the teams, and you're gonna get enough clubhouse stars to turn into packs, and you can, pull packs until you're blue in the face, which is the intent of beta, which is to do as much as possible. Thank you so much, Embezzler. It's kind of insane. I can't believe it's been 400. And I can't believe I didn't plan better to do some big gala thing around it. So there you go, your last 1,100 packs. I know. It's the whole idea. Try to throw as much into it, see what you can break. And I think things are going pretty well, actually. I don't see a lot of crazy bugs so far. But if you're seeing things, there are places to report bugs if you need to figure out if you've got a bug that you've seen. You'll bring it up. We can maybe talk through it. But I will talk a lot about that stuff and talk more about the beta because I'm excited for PT26. I'm a crazy bug. Is that a song reference? It's possible. No, I'm just a crazy bug. But again, thank you so much for all those that have followed the channel. We've got 1,717. That's all right, 1717 followers for 400 streams now. Thank you all those that have subscribed. We've got 29 subs going right now. Thank you for all of you support the channel in myriads of different ways, giving bits, other things like that. So I'm here to try to keep things fun, try to make sure you get your drops, here to impart any information that you may be looking for, and getting ready for PT26. So kind of very excited for it. Let's talk a little baseball, though, to start off the day. Yes, I have so much bunk to provide. There's so much bunk. For those that are new followers, I do a little thing called Guess the Set, which we'll check in on. All 17s. There you go. I don't know. I don't know why Apple continues to show me my dictionary when I don't really mean it to. Back on January 22nd, one of our fellow streamers, Cavicom, who I don't know if he's with us here today. Let's see. Shout out Cavicom. No, he's not here. You can see him on Sundays with marathon streams. He made a prediction in my chat. Vlad is getting 450 million. Kind of said not from the Jays. How many years? And Tex Jank said 450 million Kava bucks. 12 years in Cavicom. And of course, the Blue Jays and Guerrero could not agree on anything. And apparently, we know now maybe just a little bit why. Oh my goodness. Too many devices, too many different icons going nowhere. He wants 500 million in present value. How you doing, Vic? Good to see you here. 500 million in present value. I don't know, man. I'm sure Pete Alonso wants 500 million in present value too. But seriously, I have no idea. How would you justify 500 million? I supposedly they had a deal that was close to 500 million with deferrals. It's a lot of money. And, but 500 million in present value? There you go. 500 million over 500 years. It's $1 million a year. This one's a lot. He could also be their ace and closer, exactly, for that amount. So now you know what you're getting into if you're thinking about filling out your free agency with Vlad Guerrero Jr. And I don't know, man. I can't see anyone wanting to pay that for a guy who's primarily a first baseman. Vladdy's good. He's one of the stars of the game. But that seems like way too much to me. I don't know what you guys think, but I think Cav is closer. The 450 million. If they actually were talking 500 million with deferrals in Toronto, Toronto was definitely stepping up then. Even if he could learn to play shortstop or center field, it seems like too high. Yeah. Again, we don't know how many years we're talking about. We don't know what the average annual value contract of it would be, but 500 million in net present value just seems like a lot. How old is Vladdy, by the way? Do we have a Vlad Guerrero Jr. age? 25 years old. So he's young. 12 years would be to 37. Text Jenks, I don't think there's a max years. No, I think you can go for as many years as you want. So milking that one for some discussion. You'll only be 525 at the end of your proposed deal. Oh, talk about Bobby Bonilla Day forever. And we're talking, New York. I love New York. I really do. It's EVC in NYC. That's the whole shenagle, right? We have sirens. We have all sorts of stuff that goes on all the time. I love New York. But we're having a moment this spring that is just ugly. Francisco Alvarez, 6 to 8 weeks. Frankie Montas, 6 to 8 weeks with a Strat Lane. A Strat Lane, yes, a lat strain. It's not by Bonilla Day yet. No, not yet. I think it's July 1st, right? Sean Manaea, Nick Madrigal's fractured his shoulders on the Gamina 60-day IL. How do you fracture a shoulder? That's insane. Strat lanes are now TTC eligible. If your player gets a strat lane, they're eligible for Theme Team of Franchise Time Machines. Every player I mispronounce. Of course, the big one, like Nick doesn't want to see this one. Garrett Cole getting injured, man. So interesting. Just kind of, hate to see one of the better pitchers in the game just be out for a year. And I really don't know what the Yankees are going to do. There's not a lot they can do. Gil's got 6 weeks of a strained lat, or strat lane, as I like to call them. And Giancarlo with the double tennis elbow. What are you doing? How do you get double tennis elbow? How do you do that? I do not understand the double tennis elbow. Playing doubles, exactly. That's what, stick to singles. Or better yet, hit some homers. Freaking doubles. Yeah, I don't know. Is it pickleball? We have nothing that's really. Nick Waddick, have you heard anything? What exactly did he do to do the double elbows? So going to be tough season in New York with all these injuries happening all over the place. So definitely, it's not only New York. Does that hurt their playoff chances? I'm not so much about Stanton, but definitely losing Garrett Cole might just a little bit. It's not like there's not other injuries happening. There are plenty of other injuries happening. Sean Murphy got hit in the ribs with a pitch during spring training, out 4 to 6 weeks. We're going to get to see Drake Baldwin make maybe his debut at starting catcher for the Braves because they have no catching depth, which is insane. Luckily for them, Jurickson Profar appears to be probably okay for opening day after falling kind of weird in the outfield on a catch. He has a deep bone bruise, but he's going to be okay. Only 50% surprised? I'm sure someone else will do it. Franchise time machine. I'm not going to give you 100% of all the players for the next season. You really should start from scratch. Did you do you're not coming back on Hooked on Phonics? You're not going to do it again this year? No, you're going to do it. Did you pick your draft? Or weren't you supposed to draft 9 holdover players or 10 holdover players that you're going to keep year to year and then start from scratch? I thought that was the thing. Baltimore's got a couple injuries. Andrew Kittredge with I couldn't say this one very well either. Arthroscopic knee surgery. Elbow inflammation for Grayson Rodriguez does not look good. Have not heard more details about that one. Michael Grove, I think, ended up having to have shoulder surgery. I'm telling you, man, it's all about the insanity. Is it 2,500 for a spelling bee? We're coming very close. This is getting about, I think we're about a month away from the 6-year anniversary of Spelling Bee that we launched at the New York Times. So it's the 2,500th puzzle. I guess that makes about sense, right? 6 years times 365. No, that's 7 years. I don't think there's no way we had 20. Am I getting so old? I don't know how many years it's been since we launched Spelling Bee. 365, 700 times 2 years. That number seems wrong. 6 years? Is it going to be 7 years? 7 years. Yeah, so 55. It's somewhere in that range. There's some funkiness going on there. But I remember, I think it was mid April. We launched, or was it beginning of May? 55 would be beginning of May. So it was mid-May that we launched Spelling Bee to the world, May 5th or something like that. 7 years ago. Craziness. Gotten back to playing some Spelling Bee every day. And it's been fun. Got to catch up with some of my old colleagues. Sam Von Aaron was a colleague I worked with at the time. He helped us launch that game. He was our new games guy. Got to grab a bite with him. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, thanks, Machia Pet, for this is what we love about these streams. It's sidetrack. It's sidetrack. We got a lot to cover today, but we've got time. Michael Grove with the shoulder surgery. I believe he was trying to rehab through and ended up having to have shoulder surgery instead. He's going to be out for the year. Andrew Benintendi, fractured hand. So, it's always booby trapped. Everything's booby trapped. Everything I talk about. Also, I don't know if you saw this. I laughed out loud. My family doesn't like my laugh out louds. They're rather large. Ha's. It can be unsettling for some people. But this was a new era cap design that was launched. And the whole concept was taking the single letter on the cap and then put the word behind it. So, for those that don't know, yeah. Titas, of course, is something in Spanish, which may represent something of the female anatomy. How about that? Yeah, and the Grand Tetons, of course, in Wyoming are a completely separate thing. But you get the drift. So, yeah, that made it on the shelves. So that was impressive. And there was a couple in these. Yeah, exactly. This one was one of my favorites as a Dodgers fan who was at the 2017 World Series and still somehow holds a grudge 8 years later. The Astros. So I enjoyed that a great deal. Actually, that was one of my favorites of the set. Um, just a bunch of Astros. So that I enjoyed, and of course the Angels one. Hey, Hunter. There you go. Right. Spectacular. It is. It is fun with letters. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, this all gets back to again, you know, the ass hat, as it were, a couple years ago. So it's not like the first time. This is not the first time this has happened. But New Jersey, all Texas, Houston Angels, and A's players eligible. That'd be kind of fun. This could be your logo of your theme team. Oh, that would be kind of fun. You call yourself hats. It feels like something I should do, it doesn't it? Since I wear a lot of hats. The as hats. Nice. Back to 25. Excellent. Excellent. And players with not safe for work names, for just throw it in for fun. It's a thing. It's definitely a possibility. I think this should I condone this. If you're looking for a new theme for the year, this is kind of just speaking to you right now. So, again, just some fun, just some good wholesome fun. There you go, Pee Wee Butts, team captain. Where is my? Ooh, that's new. How does that work? Why does it do that? What did I do there? Or just we need to save with replacing the real name for the hat names. Yeah, that would be entertaining. This is new. I kind of like that. I'm like a cat watching one of those laser lights. You thought you were having a flashback? Yeah, it's not just me. It's not just you. It's baseball. Okay. That's cool. I don't know what I did, but I like it. It's the beta, everybody. You can pre-order. You can get it on. You can wishlist it on Steam. The game is here. We're getting to play. We're going to do some look at the game coming up here. Uniform variants for Nike and New Era. That would be entertaining. We got the Clubhouse Reward Shop. Look at that. We've got the new league promotion system, new league play incentives, getting you card shop Clubhouse rewards. We've got new licensed legendary players. Jeter has been announced as one of those. We're going to have real pictures of Jeter on cards. So that's exciting. Variants, I'll talk about that. There's some things. I've learned new things about how to do variants better, which is interesting. And yeah, I will show off that. We've got some variants. We'll upgrade some stuff. And again, if you buy now and you're in, by next week, I think it is. The discount's by March 20th. If you get in and use one of your licenses, you will get Diamond Hall of Fame Choice Pack, a Gold Pack, a Diamond Pack. And if you use a login from 19 that you used in PT19 through PT22, you get 3 diamonds. If you use a login that you used from 23 to 25, you get 2 live diamonds. So the longer you went in the company, playing the game, the more of a loyalty pack you get as well. So get all these goodies now and get ready for another season of Perfect Team. And we'll talk a little bit about what's going on here. So again, just get your engine set for Friday. This is the plan. Currently, if you're in beta, everything will be wiped as 2 a.m. on Friday morning. So they're going to wipe everything on the system on 2 a.m. on Friday morning. 7 a.m., login will be opened. You can use the same user ID and password as in PT25 to get your loyalty packs or register a new account. Again, for every license of OOTP you buy, you get 3 additional accounts you can make. You can also use the ones you've got from previous years. If you use one from previous years, you will get loyalty packs. Like we said, if you're using something that's played only in the last 3 years, you get 2 diamond packs extra. If you use something that's, I don't know, 3 to 5 years ago, no, 4 to 5 years ago, you've been using that same account, you get 3 diamond packs. During this period of time, between 7 a.m. and noon, yes, that's a big thing. That actually is a big thing, Big Darn Bucks. They're going to be only for limited time. I don't know how many days. It may be, it may be 100 days. It may be 3 months of variants are going, but then the old variants will go. We'll talk about variants some more, but that is something that's definitely coming. So during this period from 7 a.m. to noon, you can log in, right? You can open packs. You can buy perfect points. You can set up your team. You can get all ready for league play. League play and entry pool leagues will not start until noon or shortly thereafter. Yes, and Steam's going to not exactly unlock. The goal is for Steam to unlock exactly at 9 a.m. Last year they had Capcom! Capcom, good to see you. Did you miss us talking about you earlier? Capcom has redeemed 50,000 channel points to help me celebrate my 400th stream of Out of the Park Baseball. And Capcom, you get to choose any of these wonderful hats. I do have a Montreal Expos hat. If you'd like to get me wearing that as well, you can put Expos in. So if you'd like to have that, I don't know, do I have anything else Canadian? I don't have anything else Canadian. But I'd be happy to wear that for you if that's one you'd like. And then we're going to put 3 in and we're going to people vote. Looking around, I don't have anything else that's blatantly Canadian. So Capcom, choose 3 different hats. You just got here. Choose any 3 numbers, or you can choose 2 numbers in the Expos cap. You missed everything earlier? I had a whole thing on you. I'll show you in a bit, but choose some hats first. Do I have any that I just featured? I don't. Oh, I do not have any that just featured. No, I do not have. I do not have these hats available, unfortunately. None of these are available. I do not have the T-Toss. Capcom, you choose. Expos 17 and 2. Ooh, these are ones I have not worn in a while. Very fun. Okay, here we go. So, I can do this. It's a poll. We're going to create a new poll. Which hat? Thanks, Capcom. Is it the Expos hat? Is it number 17, which is the straw hat? Is it number 2, which is the cowboy hat. Yeah, nothing screams more cowboy than me. And the poll has begun. So, and luckily I have them here. I have a whole new hat set up here that I can easily grab hats. So while we're doing that, the poll is going. Get your votes in. You can vote as often as you want, as many times as you like. Use your channel points. But those are the choices today. And again, this is done over a long period of time. One of the things that I did at one point, let's see, I should go to this. I haven't even been on this screen today. Well, I think so. And look at that giant Cavicom. Thank you, Tedio, for using some bits to gigantify Cavicom's face and nightmares for me. But yeah, they make movies up. They do make movies about it. This is what we were talking about, Cavicom. I still think we still think that your January 22nd prognostication. Jerry, yes, I am the Jerry. Yeah, pretty lady. Yeah, I'm the Jerry Lewis. Sorry, that was loud. Vlad seeking 500 million in present value. Thank you, Flash. Great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for the sub. You are awesome. Really appreciate you. And all you guys that support the channel. Thanks so much. Thanks, A Hunter. Yeah. I watched a lot of Jerry Lewis movies as a kid. I kind of liked it. Right now, the Expos hat is leading with 77% of the vote over the straw hat and the cowboy hat. Yeah, dude, there's no way if the Blue Jays actually went through and offered 500 million with deferrals, that's the best deal he's ever gonna get. It's the Expos hat. It has been decided. The Expos hat it is. Cavicom celebrating our Canadian friends from the north, and someone's gonna have to get me a Blue Jays cap at some point. I think that's the plan, right? Thank you, as Spore spending 101 of his millinery moolah with the hammer, putting the hammer down on that one. So thank you all for that. Oh my goodness, there we go, the hat. Thank you to our good friend Cavicom for spending his 50,000 channel points. Blue Jays offered a 14-year deal. It is insane, right? You said 12. 14-year deal takes him to 39 years old. Probably had some deferrals. He's not going to get a better deal than that. I just don't think so. But that's me. Anyway. And then I guess you missed the hats. We were talking about all the wonderful, wonderful hats and how this would make a wonderful theme team. So it was hat related. We had to talk through that a little bit. The pre-order. So we're just talking about, we were just getting through hat for bats. Less money in the US could be a higher net. It's possible. We're talking through on Friday. We're talking in 48 hours from right now, the game will be off. The Sims will be started. The first Sims will be in. 12:30, exactly 48 hours from now, the first Sims of PT26 will be started. Again, we have had issues before. I think the last time that was because it was a new update that they wanted to get to Steam, and it took Steam forever to update. But it's, crossing fingers. I mean, last year we had the water issues, right? We had a server with water in it. Then we had Steam issues, and then LAP went out on like opening day because of ice and snow. So we had the 3 cycles of water, I think. Would I recommend starting Perfect Team on Friday or wait till Monday? So the thing about starting this weekend is if you've got time, then I think it's a great time to start, specifically because there will be tournament leaderboards will be decided by the end of this week. There'll be extra prizes you can get, and I think getting into tournaments is going to be somewhat easy. Like, give it a shot. If you've got time to sink, this weekend to get in those tournaments for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, plus there'll be pop-ups, I'd go in and do it. Having a weekend entry pool is fine. But I've never felt like I've gotten enough after having a full weekend entry pool. Um, Cavicom. It's not my fault. I told Lap I was leaving. The PAX only league. Um, so I'm gonna go whole hog in, at least get teams started in the process of things. For my main team, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna spend some money on my main and get cards and try to get going. For my theme teams, I'd like to get in and just start learning and getting going on tournaments. I want as much time as much ability as I can to get in on tournaments early to figure out what cards you're playing, get tournaments going. I think early on you have a chance to do well in tournaments before people really start to figure out the meta. You've got a chance. There's a chance where you can actually make things a little bit easier, I think. So that's what I recommend. Um, anyway, I sold you a while ago and I kept talking anyway. So that's the process for Friday, just getting focused on Friday. So let's talk about what's going on in the beta. What's going on in the beta? I love the new card art. I'll show off some of that. Why don't we just open a pack real quick? Also, I've got a slightly new look. Yeah, the pop-ups alone, I think, are a good reason to start on Friday. Okay. How does this look on screen? It looks okay. It looks okay. It's got a little bit darker background, so I don't have that big bright background above my head. There is the brand new Theme Teams logo for PT26. Very excited by that. I commissioned a new logo from my daughter, and I like how it pops. I'm breaking out of the circles. There's tons of circles already, so I kind of like this one a lot. And the Cava Challenge, you're going to spend perfect points are spent on tournament entries and nothing else. But here's some of the new cards, just to take a look at the new design. And whoa! I've got a. It tells you I've been doing some. There's settings. You can go through and do things. This is not something Calva will ever do. But you can do it continuously. It just keeps opening things. So, but you can open packs continuously until a perfect or variant is done, until a diamond or better is done. So there's different ways of doing things. And let's go with these. Let's do gold, silver, and below. Yeah, the anti-kava setting, not continuous. Submit team to have that save setting. I've turned off the doom chime because that is really loud. I've turned off the sound effect for packs for now. But again, just take a look at some of the new card designs. Of course I come up with the one off-centered picture for Ken Waldachuk. But the Ryan Fernandez is a good example. Lawrence Butler, the new live cards. I think it's some of the most poppiest of the live card designs we've had in a while. So I really like this design a great deal. Again, the card art is always fire in this game. I've seen some other card styles during the beta. I promise you they're rocking. Some great stuff. So I always enjoy this part of the game as we go through. And that's kind of fun to go through and pull packs and kind of see some of the cards get used to. Ooh, Bid McPhee. Bid McPhee, if you remember last year, came very late in the cycle. And here he is looking like a launch deck card. And so that's something else. Typically what happens if you didn't get a card until late in the cycle, like you'll see cards earlier on the cycle this time around. So kind of fun, but the Bid McPhee I have not had before on this team. And so again, one thing to remember on this as we go through is that we do not have all the cards set, right? We had 2,459 cards in PT24 at launch. That's right. We had 3,268 cards in PT25 at launch. Now, we've talked about the launch deck will be slightly smaller than the 3,200 we had last time, but we've got 925 live cards. And there, look at Nicholas says many of these won't be in the launch deck at all. So don't get your hopes up if you've been looking at the beta to try to learn which cards to use. They're going to be amazing. We've only got 291 non-lives. If you do the math, let's say we have 2,700, 2,800 cards at launch. Minus 900, that means you'd have 1,900 non-lives in the deck at launch. And we've only gotten 291 in the game right now, right? And as Nico said, some of those aren't going to be in. And of course, some included could change ratings. So this is, again, just a random walk through the park for beta just to make sure everything's working properly. So don't get too attached. Danny Espinoza ain't getting a 226 gap V left or whatever the heck. There are some interesting, fun cards to go through. I feel like the live cards also, things may change, so don't get too set on the live cards. But we did do a guess the set. We did do the guess the set on the launch deck, which closed as soon as the beta opened. And one of the questions we asked was, how many of last year's live 100s will repeat? So if you believe in what we've got so far in the game, these are our live 100s that we've got in the game. He didn't even ton of second base, third base, 3 left that year. That's funny. Should we look at a Danny Espinoza card just for fun? Return. Card shop. And none. Danny Espinoza with the 202 gap be left. If you're seeing some interesting outliers, definitely let the team know. Nick Stavanola, all players. Nick. I don't know why I'm getting this squishiness. Because it was open already? I don't see Nick Stavanofius. What's the leveled up? Oh, yeah, I don't know. $219 after you level them up. So anyway, thought we'd go through and take a look at some of the live 100s that are in, and it looks like, yeah, the purple is amazing. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Of course, I'm on rails, which is never a good thing. I should go where the convo goes. But again, you've got, it looks like about 10 of last year. Let's see, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of last year's. Whoever was a perfect at launch last year is so far a launch in this deck. Now, this does not mean that this is what we'll have, right? Because things can change. But Great Scott, Tim Gross, KDR, Tix Jenks, Minerva, and Teddy O all guessed 10. That would be crazy. There you go. College Hoops, Beta, me. It's good times, Nicolino. It's good times. So, also new in the beta. That's right. The guess set is not final until Friday. So there's tons of other categories of things. I'm going to wait until we get the actual launch deck on Friday. We'll be showing off our winners on our Saturday stream. So check out the Saturday stream. We're showing off our winners of our guess the set from the launch deck. So out is the choice packs. In is Clubhouse Stars. So you're going to be earning Clubhouse Stars. And again, when we talk about last year, if I was trying to go after a specific card, um, yeah, can't do that either. In the fucking, if last year when you won a tournament, you could get choice packs, and from the choice pack, you'd have a random pool of the different cards available, and you'd choose which one you'd want. But if you were a theme team running a specific theme and looking for a specific tournament card, getting that one card would be hard, especially if it was a perfect, which means you would have to win a weekly to get that perfect or spend a lot in the auction house, 500,000 perfect points or more, typically to get one of those big tournament cards. Now, possibly you could win, a bunch of daily tournaments and save your points, that instead of getting a low diamond that doesn't fit your theme, you save your points, and I win 4 or 5 low diamonds. That's enough that I could turn into what would have been low diamonds. It's enough club shop points to turn around and go buy that specific tournament card 100 that I need for my theme team. So I think it's going to provide more flexibility for however you like to play this game to go get the cards you want to play with. Of course, there will be some of these cards that will be probably in missions just like there were in last year for all the tournament batch cards. But instead of also having a card that atrophy over time and having giant tournament batches of 120 cards coming out at once that you're all screwing around, this gives a chance for the team to increase and change the rewards that are available in the tournament, or excuse me, in the clubhouse shop, not just in one big 120 batch, but throughout the cycle. So you're constantly getting refreshes of new things to kind of go look at, just like we get new content every single week. I think that's going to make it more fun in doing tournaments, is that there's always going to be something that goes with this creep of the cycle that you'll see into the oval tournament shop. It'll allow you to get these cards. Again, these cards will be sellable in the in the normal card shop as normal. But I think it's going to be a nice change. It's going to make it much easier to go after specific cards you want to go after. And if you're not someone who wins weeklies every single day and, basically turn it into a money machine of turning those perfect 100s into 500,000 perfect points every time, you still have a shot to go get that card. So it's going to be interesting to look at how it changes values, how it changes accessibility for different cards. I think it's a really great change. And again, it's not much right now to look at in the store because there's not a lot of stuff in there. We're saving all that. They are saving all that for launch day. But the clubhouse shop will have 3 levels. Oh, there's more stuff. There's more stuff. Oh, let's go get a Don Drysdale 100. So you get a little idea of things. Now there's cards. And let's get Espinoza off. So there's different cards you can purchase with your clubhouse stars. That Nomar is one I've been thinking about as a shortstop upgrade. So that's kind of cool. Click on the card. I'll click on the card from the featured. And you can see this has already been, the variant level is a higher level, so I can go get the Bobby Higginson, which is a 4 out of 5 stars already. So that's the other part. Like, this is also saving you from having to variant and do different levels, which is kind of cool. And that's a feature that has been talked about, that, maybe instead of just getting, getting the basic version, here is a completely varianted up level 5 Hack Wilson that you can go get. And so there's going to be a featured page. I'm glad I took a look. There is the there are coffee beans being grinded. Can you hear that? I don't drink coffee. And then you can see the variant level here on the card, so you know what you're purchasing. So this will be much like a card shop. It shows you. Interesting. I never really thought about getting 5 of something. I guess as food to feed other variants is interesting. Text Jenks, that is, I believe, correct. When you go look at the card shop and buy player card packs, it's still the 55.45. And I'm a little squeezed here so you can't see it all, but and then you're going to have packs that you can potentially purchase as well. So it's currently a discount of 20% minus 50 Clubhouse. Okay, so usually we 250 Clubhouse cards. So you can do different sales. I'm gonna have different sales that are available with Clubhouse stars to get things. So this just gives another opportunity to market, sell, put things in place that you might be able to go grab and add for your team. And again, if you're earning Clubhouse stars through multiple ways now, you can earn them by league play. Do I have a slide on that? I think I do. But did I put it into the thing? I did not. So you can earn it by league play. And you'll be earning them in addition to what you get out of Club Star. You know, I swear I had that as a slide, but it's always possible that I screwed up and didn't add it in. I'm gonna look real quick here if I have that chart. I think I have it in another deck. No worries, but again, depending on, I think once you're in, Nicolene, you have to remind me, is it low gold? I think starting in low gold, if you get into the top 4, I think you have a chance to get Clubhouse stars from that. Matter of fact, I'm going to go see if I can find this. Stream components. Because I think it's good to know as you're thinking about league play. Yes. It will not let me do 2 slideshows at once. I love it. So in league play, you can start getting Clubhouse stars as well, right? So we just talked about from tournaments, you can Clubhouse stars to buy these things. You will also, starting in low silver, if you win low silver, you get 25 Clubhouse stars. Second gets 10, 5 points for third and fourth. And as you can see, as you go up the chart from iron to low bronze to high bronze, and then starting in silver, you start getting Clubhouse stars just for how you do in league. So even if you're not great at tournaments, you can start collecting things and hopefully get Clubhouse stars to feature and fuel your quest to get some of these specific cards that'll be available in the Clubhouse shop for your theme team or your league play team. So just something to kind of think about as league play is going to have more significance again. So the higher you go up, the more Clubhouse stars you can get to help you fuel your rise and stay in those different levels as you go through. So kind of exciting new change coming through in PT26 and the Clubhouse stars. So that's kind of fun. Let me get this out of the way and back to here. What else am I missing in Clubhouse stars? Any other questions on Clubhouse stars? Basically, like I said, instead of choice packs, you're earning Clubhouse stars for tournaments, and then you're also winning Clubhouse stars for your league performance in silver or above. So that's pretty cool. New cards to go after in a different way. And again, once a person buys these cards in the Clubhouse store, they will be able to sell them in the normal card shop as well. So you have the ability to kind of go multiple ways to go acquire these cards, and it should be an interesting, fun new way of playing the game in PT26. Okay, let's keep on rolling here. Another fun thing coming out. This is one of my favorite new things. Look at this. Look at this. We now have purple. Congratulations, Minerva, on the Combi 100 home run Baker. Very nice. Again, this is just it's a small thing, but I think it's a big thing. You can actually now view and see the differences in colors and scale much more clearly with the purple that's been added. So the purple is awesome. The other thing on this is the plus rating. So we're highlighting the differences, right? You love that the purple turns pink as the hot number gets higher? Yeah. The purple gets to this pink like magenta, neon magenta kind of coming at you with the eye over here, right? Perps and pinks. Um, and so I love being able to look at this and see, oh, I'm getting 26 more, contact, but really I'm getting more eye here and I'm getting 69 more power. Am I trading off 152 eye for 69 more power? So it really lets you see very quickly how much you're giving up back and forth between the cards in a V left and V right situation. I mean, they're two great V right players here. Do you want the Babbitt and I, or do you want the power between these two players? And these are two. This is perfect McCutcheon and perfect Richie Ashburn. Both can only play center field. So is what avoid K? 128 avoid K versus 78. Yeah, plus 50 on the avoid K. So that's yeah, I'm not sure why it showed up as Ks, but avoid Ks. Again, just kind of looking at these two different bats. I don't know, hey Hunter, I don't know. You want Kutch? I think Kutch is. Oh, I forgot. This is just I got rid of the overall. Yeah, look at this V left. I'm sorry. The V left is insane for Kutch, right? The V right, not so much. You might go with Ashburn V right. Maybe. But Kutch if you're playing two-way. So I love looking at this kind of. This is, I think, a really great feature in being able to do things. There's one other thing on my wish list on this, which I think I've said I got to put back in, is that when we do your comparison of players, and let's go into the game and show the comparison of players that we've got here in our league. And look at my lineup here. I'm going to look at, let's look at third baseman here. I've got Home Run Baker, who Minerva just got a combied version, a variant version of, excuse me. It's going to be hard. And I have this one in the Rendon. And Rendon, really interestingly, has this just amazing V left look. Gives a little power, but a lot more BABIP, a lot more I than Home Run Baker. And Home Run Baker just dominates V right, right? So the V left Rendon versus the V right. It's a good opportunity to go through and compare somebody back and forth. And you got Home Run Baker as a DH. But I think this is a really great opportunity to see, like, where do you want to have your platoon going. And then you also get batting stats. You can see how are they doing. And even on the comparison of batting stats now, I don't know if you've seen this before, but who's doing better at each thing is highlighted in blue. So you can see, well, again, he's played 32 games of 3. Okay, so let's just look at some of these other numbers here, like the WOBA. A 349 WOBA and a 204. So this is a kind of nice comparison that's new this year. And I like the batting stats. Defensive ratings, of course, similarly, you can see that, interesting, don't have the pluses down here on the overall rating, but you get it on the most important parts, looking at, for example, arm. Home Run Baker has no arm, not exactly a third baseman in the same way. Of course, Rendon has no range, right? But it's third base. You need arm. So one thing I would love to see is a defensive stats. Now, again, I realize it's not an apples-to-apples comparison when a player is playing multiple positions, but it would be kind of nice to see at least the overall. We can see this when we go into lineups and see fielding stats, right? So I can just look at my third baseman, and I can kind of look at the guys who play third and look at their zone rating and defensive efficiency and range factors as they're playing. Yeah, the beta missions are definitely completable and gives you tons and tons of packs to open. So enjoy. And start now. Now, BD Cable, go make some tournament teams. Go have some fun in tournaments. So there you go. So I'd be nice to be able to go through and compare these on defensive stats in that same comparison view. It's something I've mentioned before. I'll put another one in on that. But that's again some of the new comparison tools that you've got in the game, which I found really kind of refreshing, fun to kind of have. So brand new. And of course, combis are now variants. And I love this. One of the things I love most about this is you feed as you go now. No failed attempts and wasted effort. And before you say, I got 88%, let me give it a shot, and then you'd lose, it wouldn't go. And that was probably the most negative feedback loop you could ever have around a combi. For variants, you cannot do that. You can put 88% in, you can submit the cards. They will be eaten, but you don't lose your progress. Now you're 88% of the way to finishing off, right? And the other great thing is if you go over, up to 1,000 points will be overage of go to your next boost. So I don't have to go through and figure out, I got to get exactly to 100%. I don't want to lose any points. You're going to get up to 1,000 points over. So if you've got 2 diamond cards, yeah, same card does give a lot of points now. As you can see here, the Tony Gonzalez gives 500 points from the same card. That makes that boost a lot easier to kind of achieve, right? But the rollover, I think, is great. So those are 2 of my favorite things about the changes. Another thing you'll see is that the selling, you'll see now there's an auction card. So in the past, if you remember in the past, you would try to sell something. If it wasn't of value, you could convert it back to a non-combi and sell it at whatever the market price is. In the new version, you'll be able to do multiple things on selling. If you've got a boosted card, you can sell it at that variant level. So last year, variants reset to 0. This year, variants stick with their level. So if you've grinded your butt off to make a card to a level 4 and it no longer fits your team or your theme or whatever you're doing for tournaments and you want to sell it, you can sell it at that level 4 and extract value that should be higher than one that's at level 0, right? So you're going to get some more value for what you put into the card. 2, instead of basically other things that happened last year is people didn't know the value of something. So they just go out and put, I got this Combinator bronze. I'm going to put it up at minimum and get whatever perfect points. For them, that was great. And the reality, and other people would come through and just snipe it because they knew the value of it, right? Now we can ensure if someone goes out and put a card that's very coveted, it'll be up for 48 hours and people need to bid on that card through an auction house and you're going to get the right value for that card. So the market value of a card should be more, it may not be as transparent in the beginning, but the sellers will get the value of that card in a way. And if you still can't sell it even at the basic price or get an auction to get it something, you can now quick sell these cards. So yeah, it's definitely making this a much more, again, this is version 2, right? Version 1, you learn a lot of stuff, you fix things. They've listened to us in the community and things that gave us pause and made it frustrating. And one of the things I've been hearing a lot of people about, just clicking and trying to click a lot. One of the things I learned only today that makes this so much easier if you want to go upgrade a card, right? Like one of the things that's difficult on the boost screen, and let's cancel that for now. So I'm going to go to a variant boost, and let's say I decided that, I don't know. Let's go after Tony Gonzalez again. Let's say Tony Gonzalez is a guy I want to upgrade. So I have all these different cards I can put into Tony Gonzalez. But what I don't know is, I don't know the value of that card, how much it's worth. I want to make sure I make a good ROI decision before I go through. And so one of the great things that is kind of been hidden, I'm not sure if many people just didn't see this, but you can go to manage cards and there's a missions view. And my Tony Gonzalez that I picked is now here in the missions view as the variant that I'm looking for. And I can see all the, and this variant relations, shows you how many points you get towards that. This variant relations allows me to go through and see the number of cards. Now, I may want to go through and say, well, okay, that's great, but is he in missions? How much is he worth right now? So if I want to get this over here, I can say that I could sell this card maybe for 92,000 points. He's worth 1,000 points towards the upgrade. I may not want to spend that much. But this 256 one, these Cookie Rojas's, that only has 180 L10, and I'm getting 256 getting 180 points for it. That falls within my ratio of 2 to 1. You know, like I want to pay only like 2 perfect points per relation point to upgrade that card. Same thing, I'm paying, you know, this is an L10 and 90, I'm getting 138 points. Like that's a no-brainer for me to go do. Right? And I can go through and find the Dallas Greens. And you can go through and use your filters. I've done a filter here, which is I'm also ensuring it's not on one of my tournament teams. I don't want to take a card that I might have use for it elsewhere, like on a tournament. And so I've got my PT is on, tournament is no, right? And you can do other filters on this to kind of keep it within reason and help you figure out. And then what you can do is just right click, tag to variant boosts, Tony Gonzalez, right? Click OK. Now, if I go back to the boost screen, those have been tagged. And I can see that, you know, I've gotten some away there. I can submit the cards, and those are worth valuable. And I can have it eat it. And I'm now at 1843 of 4,400. So it really allows you to go through and pinpoint a little bit closer, like all these Dallas Greens, right? I can choose to customize the filter. Last name is Green. Okay. I can hit tag all. I can turn off the Dick Greens. And maybe if the relations point is less than 6, I don't want it, right? Customize, add, and the variant relation is at least 50, at least 30, let's say. So I can slack those, hit those, tag the variant boost, Tony Gonzalez, and go. And so another thing is, you know, well, did I select them all? Tag all. Tag all. That's entertaining. You'll see also the, I thought it used to show on here when it was tagged on a variant, but I don't right now. So anyway, this is, I think, you know, one of the things that I want to not click as much. This is a way for me to maybe not click as much. See, but I should have kept them clicked. So I'm not sure what I did. I did something wrong. It should have kept them clicked. So this is the clicking I don't want to do, right? Those 20 clicks is a lot of clicking on your hand, right? And that's one of the things we're trying to figure out. How can I do it so I can kind of mass add a bunch in as I go? Yeah, I don't want to get tennis elbow like Giancarlo Stanton. So anyway, I thought that was really interesting as far as taking a look at variants and figuring out how do you, you know, how has this made it a little bit easier year over year as far as doing these things? And I think that is one of the things that I've kind of found. Again, I don't want to click on a bunch of Gordy Jones and Doug Glanvilles, etc. And one of the things I'm always scared about in doing variants is let's turn off the last name. I don't want to sell my tourney cards. I don't want to feed cards that I'm using in a tourney because that screws up my tournament team. I don't want to go through and sell cards that I could get a much more lucrative perfect point return on. So if I've got some low, perfect point cards, then it makes a lot of sense then. And then again, I'm trying to reduce my clicks, right? But sometimes you just want to, select everything, right? And just go. So I think there'll be different ways of going through. It's still not, there's still work involved, of course. But I think the grind can be a little bit less than it was last year in making and upgrading the cards, which I think is great. So any other questions on variants, concerns, issues you've seen, other stuff that you want to talk about? I'm happy to go through with that. I'm still, to me, I think one of the great things as far as tournaments this year is that out of the gate, they're really talking about limiting the number of tournaments in something. Can you sort the variants list in the boost screen? In the boost screen, you cannot. So if you're in the boost screen, you can't sort any of these. So it's kind of an interesting, back and forth. Like the functionality that you want is really in roster management, left side. Yeah, none of these are sortable, if that's what you're talking about. Oh, this, yes. So now I can go through and find all the silver cards, right? If I did everything, right now I have a lot of variants in the beta, right? I have a ton of variants. And they're at some are different levels, some are boosted, some are not. So there are brand new sorting abilities. So I can look at any level 2s that I've got. There is a Tony Gonzalez level 2. I can go find my level 1s I'm working on. I don't have any right now. Level 3s, I have a Johnny Lazor. So as I'm going through, how did I get so much? I did all the missions. If you do one of the team missions, you'll be able to get like 120 packs. Opening 120 packs will help you a long way towards finish. You get clubhouse stars. I turn the clubhouse stars into packs. Turning those packs and opening all those helped me finish all the extra missions, and that gave me a ton of clubhouse stars, which you can go through and turn into packs, 20 standard packs. Now you can turn into all sorts of fun things, including boosted up variants, Minerva. So that's how I got that many cards. So there are some filters on the, there are filters on the boost tab, so I can find different things, which is really nice. And again, if I just had all, it'd be a long list, and it's hard to sort through, and it's hard to see the 0 to 5 to 2 to 5s, etc. that are in that list. So this lets you know what you have. A lot of time you're coming through and like, oh, I want this specific card. So okay, well, I'm going to try to upgrade for my bronze team right now, this specific card, because it's a cap that I'm doing in bronze. So I want the Bill Knickerbocker. And again, you can get away with just doing a lot of the same card, giving you a lot of points. Now, I don't know what the value is here, so I'm going to make sure I'm not hurting myself as far as how many perfect points I'm giving up for the points. And right now, Knickerbocker, Dick Porter, look at that. Knickerbocker has got an L10 of 86 and give me 100 points. And you'll see here, the ones that are selected already in the combinator have a star next to them. So you can go through and I can pick all the ones that have not been put in the combinator, right click, tag to variant boost. Oops. Tag to variant boost. And this is Bill Knickerbocker. And there he is. And those are now all updated. And you see here on the boost that it's all got the stars. So kind of fun, or at least easier than clicking in all of those. And then I'll see I get 42 points for 109 L10. That's not out of the realm. Tag to variant boost. And there's Knickerbocker. And now I can go back to variant boosts. And I can run. Now, see, now here's what happens if I'm going to run this. It brings up this, and it shows you specifically you're going to upgrade to boost to level 1. You're using 28 cards. They'll be removed from your collection completely. 736 excess points will be carried forward to the next boost level once the current boost has been completed. And so instead of losing them or having to unclick them to get down below the number, now they'll be carried forward. So a lot less clicking. It managed it. I also am guaranteeing I'm going to boost. So let's go do that. The boost runs. I don't know why my graphics do not enjoy running it. And reset the screen. And now we're at a level 1 for Bill Knickerbocker. And I can start the process over again. Yeah, that's the I think that is an interesting thing. I think you're right there. The fact that I could take Buddy Rosar. Now, I guess I could choose that I'd rather, take Buddy Rosar and tag him to somebody else. But these are all the people that Buddy Rosar has relations with that has some points, which is why they're showing up on the list, right? So if I want to find my Bill Knickerbocker, he's down here. But yeah, I could put him to somebody else. It is a bit personal. I would agree that I would like as well. That's a nice. I think that's a nice quality of life addition. Text Janks. Someone clip this is basically when you've already got Bill Knickerbocker selected here as the variant that you're looking at. When you're going through and using this function and clicking the sorry, let's untag. When you're clicking this function and you've got a variant already selected here because you're actually looking at that, it would make sense that he would be at the top of the list. Bill Knickerbocker should be here at the top. I think that's a good thing versus having to hunt for him within the sea of relations. But again, I find this to be a much cleaner way of having the numbers at my feet to look at this L10 versus how many points I'm getting, to know the value prop, and to ensure that I'm, again, not hitting things that are already on a tournament team, right? And I'll be going a bunch of 1s and 2s and 5s. They're probably more valuable with some other combi. So that's just, again, an eye into how to leverage and run around the variant upgrading and boosting pot process that I think is a really nice improvement. And kudos to the team. I know, again, that's one of the things I love about OOTP is that they listen and they try to figure out ways of making stuff better, right? I mean, the fact that we've got friends lists for our theme teams, that admin tool was totally based on a lot of your feedback and feedback from me going through and building that so we could have a much more fun together and make that easier process, improving our quality of life. And yeah, I agree. Usability is important to me as well. And I think figuring out how to make that. So this is something that part of this screen, etc., existed last year, and I didn't really know it was here. So part of it is just, it's one of those things, there's a lot of hidden features within it and trying to make it more so that you guys can see them and make it more intuitive for users to use these products. And, we want to make it fun. There's always some grind in the game like this, but they don't have to make it, we want to improve the quality of life, I think is an important part for all of us, right, in playing this game. Oh, I lost. Just as a little aside, as we're here within League, it's been really interesting in League. We are in the 2024 era. And there are some new eras in terms of, I don't think this is going to be default era, but this is the 2024 era in entry pool. And there's some really interesting things to take a look at in the 24 era. I'm finding that pitchers have incredibly low uh, ERAs, and the batters are just barely hitting their weight. Now, this could be definitely just my team build. So take it for what it's worth. Skubal never pitches more than 80 innings because he's only got 61 stamina, right, using a live pitcher. He's been great. His card's been phenomenal in beta. But it's just really interesting taking a look at, again, how low the batting averages have been for players. My home run banker cannot hit for his life. I don't know, Erie GM. Probably a fair assumption, but I have not been given details whether it be something different on that. So yeah, I don't know if it's just a function. Like I think some people say, well, this is 2024. It's kind of the world, right? You're not having a pitcher go 7, 8, 9 innings, right? They're going 5 2/3. They're the 5 and dive. 6 1/3 is a lot for a starting pitcher. But the stamina is 61. Walker Buehler has been great until this last start. So maybe that portends well for the Red Sox this coming season. It's hard, I know one of the things that's been talked about in the notes that PBABIP has been made less nerfed, or it has less of a, like last cycle, in PT25, you can get away without looking at PBABIP. Like if you had good controlled home run allowed, that card was good to go for the most part. This year, PBABIP is supposed to have more importance. But not, it feels more balanced this year, as far as I can tell. So, the eyeballing of a specific ratings is not, I haven't seen anything specific in my eyeballs yet from the pitching standpoint. Shane McClanahan. Again, you'll see this slightly elevated PBABIP versus the home run allowed. And I think that balance of those two is really good. Is a pitcher that's Jesse Tannehill. So I don't know. If only someone could run an experiment to see if that's true. Franchise Time Machine is here. He does experiments on his channel. Are you doing some? Have you done some yet? Go follow Franchise Time Machine. I understand I'm no longer the winner overall. This is not complete yet. You're waiting for the official version, but he will be doing experiments on his channel. Be good to watch and see what his experiments show as far as different pitcher types and how they do, as you try to think about league and think about each of the different levels. And again, tourneys are going to have much more different run environments availability and some boosts and other things going through. So many fun things going on. There are a ton of streamers, and if you're thinking about drops, again, you're just getting PT25 drops through Friday. At some point on Friday, if things are working well and Nico is alive and breathing still, he will turn on the OB26 affiliates having drops. These are just some of the affiliates. There may be more, there may be changes. It's just, again, take a screen grab if you want, if you don't know these folks. Of course, I think I still have this, and most of these people are listed as well here. I know AZ Axel is busy working, not streaming at the moment, but will be back. Let's see. Someone else. Attica is still working through some. Will be working through and getting some of his league back, but not just yet on streaming. So, some of these people on this list are streaming constantly. Some less so. But these are the ones that definitely broken down by type. So if you're looking for streamers to do Perfect Team, you've got Kava, you've got Seawit, you got Dishnet, myself, Laptop Hound, Max LP80, Minerva, and Nazbase. If you're looking for people, he did stream last night. I know. I asked him though, and he said, I'm just busy traveling all over the point. You will need, so yes, the process will be very similar to last year. You will need to unlink from OT25. Ezra's there. He's just over here as a base game streamer. You will need to go into Twitch on Friday when things are ready. You will unconnect from PT25. And then you'll take that same account and connect to PT26. And you will have to link to a new URL. That is correct, Ryan. If you're looking for drops, this is a list of folks for drops coming. And again, there may be other folks coming through. So yeah, that's kind of the plan that you'll be going through. No footage for. I asked Lap for footnotes. You know, Dr. D's got to give me his full schedule. Lap is gonna give me when he figures it out. You know, Lap. He's always dealing with snow and stuff. This is a very difficult to read. Roberto Kelly fan. This is a very difficult to read calendar with hours and times that gives you an idea. If you didn't know this, there are 11 different streamers that have scheduled shows on Thursdays. You can pretty much go from 8 a.m. to about 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time and have streamers on all the time. So just a lot of streamers coming through. And of course, there are plenty of streamers who do not have a specific schedule that'll come through at different points, like Seawit, etc. But tons of different folks coming through. So I will, again, you can find this graphic, which will be updated over time, at this link. So if you want to grab a version, a copy of your own, and have it for your reference point, you can click on that. It'll take you to the Google Doc. You'll be able to see that. That's right. You can raid train 24 hours. And there may be some new streamers at some point. We'll see. As soon as new affiliates come through, of course, we'll update and add them to the list, and then try to squeeze even more on a screen, because, you know, it's what we do. It's what we do. Any questions on this? Again, the plan is to have drops sometime on Friday. If everything's working well, Twitch is going well, the release is going fine, then that will happen. Thanks, AW. That's crazy. 400 streams of this game. It is absolutely nutso. Not yet. Bull goats. No changes are no yet. I've heard some inklings that some more people may be added, but I haven't gotten any confirmation from anyone on that. So once they're added, if there are any changes, we'll add stuff through. But for the most part, everyone will be back. And no, listen. Sure, the community's been good to me. I'm happy to help. I want to make sure everyone's got the resources and can find what they need. And again, this community is amazing. And if not for all you, we wouldn't be streaming this stuff. We just wouldn't. There's no guess this set, by the way. Ooh, the Angry Unicorn to return would be awesome. This is our plan for streaming. Wednesdays, we'll be doing Guess the Shed. On Thursdays, we'll be doing a little pre-twipped hype show. And my goal is to go through and show off all the new theme teams that are coming through each Thursday, and then give you a little feel going right into the This Week in Perfect Team, what you guys think is coming this week. Capcom, the first thing you see when you wake up in the morning. I think C what's more disturbing. A return is official. I don't know if he's gonna be affiliate, but having him back would be great. Is he still? Is he still an affiliate? I don't know what I'd do for a Rip Contest beta version. I have nothing to give. I can't give anything away. If he's official, if he's joined the affiliates network, that's awesome. Then it happened already. I did not see it. I cannot wait. I loved Angry Unicorn streams. Angry Unicorn used to have these great streams where he would take tourney data and then he'd show off that tourney data in these crazy Excel sheets that would show the best players at each position in bronze, for example. So it was amazing. As someone who wanted to like understand, again, he pulled a bunch of league data. And so that was amazing. And it was super helpful. Okay, I'll check. I did not see that it was official. We'll get him added to the list. Then I got to figure out where to squeeze everybody in. You can tell the base game streamers, I had to start taking the green and wrapping it around. I have to do the same with the blue for the Perfect Team streamers. And with AZ Axel and awesome. Cavacom. The OG Cavacom. What else is going on? What else do I have on my slides that I have today? Saturday, I'm also planning to do some, basic stuff. If you're new to the game, haven't seen things, I'll try to do some real basic things on Saturday where I will talk about creating your game economy. This is what you really want to do as you're starting off a new team. The key thing is making sure you've got all the levers adjusted to get your perfect points, to get your packs so that you can keep your game going. Spore, I didn't get a response from you. I will get you on the list. I hit me up with details. I have a form. I put it in the server there for the affiliates to go through, the Discord and the affiliates. I had a form. Fill it out. I can take your information verbatim and I'll stick it on the thing. And since I didn't get it, I didn't put them all in. So I need to ping you. Ryan, that's not something that is, let's see. Unlimited drops is a Twitch issue. So Twitch has a specific process where you have to basically do in 30-minute increments. And so think about it this way. In the past, you could have when Twitch switched their system, here's what Nico has to do every week to get the affiliates drops doing, okay? He has to get all 20 of us affiliates into a list, and for this group, he sets up a 15 minutes each day. For 15 minutes, they get a drop. Then he has to go and do it again, make one for 30 minutes. Then he's got to do another one for 45 minutes. Then he's got to do another one for 60 minutes. Then he's got to do another one for 90 minutes. And on some days when he's feeling good, he'll do another one for 120 minutes. For him to do unlimited, he would have to do one then at 150 minutes, and then another one at 180 minutes. And you can imagine every single week, you have to create those every single week. So the Twitch UI is not fun. And the process is I have to create these. There's no way to, automate this. I have to manually create these processes every week. So I am thankful for drops. I am thankful to OOTP folks for spending the time to make that. It makes it better for you. It makes it better for us as streamers. But it's a process that they have to go through. So to do it, they have to have, you get this reward after so much time, and the time allotments are already set within Twitch at 15-minute intervals for the first hour, then half hours after the second hour. Then it may be an hours after the fourth hour or something like that. I don't know beyond that. So there you go. For OOT 2025, Ewall got 373 silver packs, 1,081 standard packs. I mean, that's a lot of packs. His franchise time machine notes as it stands out, might be the most generous drop program he's ever seen around. So yeah. And Andy said, "What did you get, Andy? It's the last 6 months from the drops page." So that's insane, right? So drops is a huge thing. Hopefully at that point when I'm on Saturday, we'll have the URL live. I'm assuming it will be something like last year's URL. And we'll talk through that. We have the daily login bonus, of course. We've got the Perfect Team Live, which is kickoff on Monday or Tuesday. Monday, I think. The Cubs and Dodgers are playing in Japan. So you're going to want to get your PT Live rosters in. We'll talk a little about live card speculation. We'll talk about league performance and achievements. We'll talk about perfect team tournaments. And honestly, on Saturday, once we've started, getting theme teams started off with just creating some of the different tournaments is really going to be the key thing. So we're going to talk through all this stuff on Saturday. That's kind of the goal of Saturday's plan. I'll have my main, whatever I've done damage on Friday on the main will be done. We can take a look at where that's looking, and then I'll start working on one of my theme teams on Saturday. And we'll kind of go through that process and like, how do I make sure I take advantage of each of these things to maximize points? I'm probably missing some things. I think you can do the challenge on playing the base game. You can play challenge mode and get some packs too. But the best ROI of any of these things is the tournaments. Let me just check something else again on the calendar. Somewhere I have a calendar of events. Did I not do it? At 399. Looking for slides in all the wrong places. Boy, at 398. 7. Ugh, I don't think I have it. Anyway, I've got it here somewhere. Let me find this thing. So many things. Who said I want to be prepped? Thank you again to Cavicon for making me wear this hat today. Hello, Canada. We love you. Trust me, we do. I know it doesn't feel like that, but we do. Let's go take a look at the coming calendar. Of course, we're in the beta period right now. Launch is Friday. We talked about all the launch details. The Cubs and Dodgers get your PT Live rosters for Tuesday. Tuesday. Cubs and Dodgers in Tokyo on the 18th and 19th. That week, I'll open up the new friends list. And our projected first theme team leagues will be on the week of the 24th, the Monday the 24th. So we're going to get all your stuff in. And opening day is on the 27th. So a lot of stuff coming through. I expect new content set from Sport next Thursday, the 20th. So we'll do our guest set on the 19th. Hey, Mad Mask, how you doing? And let's see, do I have this? Let's talk about some theme team stuff. We had the calendar I just showed you, and I just went over that, showed you everything else going on here. Again, theme teams, we've got a brand new, spanking new logo. I'm very excited about getting theme teams going. This will be our 4th year doing theme teams. It's a set of cards you love to play with. It can be your favorite franchise, an era of all-stars, or just players named Bob, as I always like at this point to have a Bob's. Thank you. Well, this is I commissioned this from my daughter, who did a very nice job. If you guys are looking for someone who can do some UI design, uh, she's open to options. She's looking for a job. So if you got ideas. But there's a theme team logo. Very excited. I like the way the S curve hooks around the ball a little bit there for PT26. So very excited to have this going. And again, this is our 5th year of theme teams. We went from 78 teams in Perfect Team 22. We climbed all the way to 265 teams in PT24. I think with the PAX only squad, some people left. Yeah, much better than some of those MLB hat designs. Yeah. But we had 71% of our owners at least win one theme team championship at some point during the cycle between rookie all the way up into gold this year. So congratulations again to everyone who participated part of that. So Okie Red, some people do send it to theme. I have 2 Twitch accounts. I have one that goes to my main and one that goes to one of my theme teams, and I'll cycle it to different theme teams because I have too many theme teams. Definitely the theme teams. Last year, what I did, Okie Red, is that I had one theme team working on iron tournaments, one theme team working on bronze tournaments, another theme team working on silver tournaments, and then I had my main working on gold. And that way I could look at and really focus in deeply on specific tournaments. And so that helped fund those to get some tournament rewards. I don't know who you are. PT23, we just started putting together, we kind of went from hacking it to putting it all together and organizing it. So I guess that's me, because I've been streaming for about 3 years. So maybe streaming theme teams help make it more popular, or at least get us all together in the group. I think people were doing theme teams on their own and not going out of the stuff. But so Okie Red, this is the key thing of working on your economy. How can you manage multiple teams to keep them all fed? And that becomes an issue. I had a 4th team, which was PAX only last year, and that just did perfect drafts. And so I focused my slots on each of those specific things to do those parts. Yes, that is the goal. Not every one of us is going to get into Perfect League. Many of us are not going to get to Perfect League and make it all the way up. So this is just kind of a way to compete and kind of get some glory along the way and play with cards you want to play with. I love playing with different Dodger players from my youth. And seeing how they do and learning more about the Dodgers franchise history. So that's really all a part of doing theme teams. This year, I'm going to do a little exploration into Cuba. My father-in-law, who passed away back in December, he was a big Cuban music fan, and he also liked Cuban baseball. And so I thought I'd dive in and teach myself more about Cuba. And it was really fascinating, the origins of baseball in Cuba and the amount of interaction up until 1961 between leagues. So basically, my theme is going to be anyone who played in Cuba. I need documented accounts of them playing in Cuba or of Cuban descent. So that's going to be kind of fun. And I'll try to share as much stuff as I can about the Cuban leagues. I've been going around and pulling images from all over the place to do stuff. Fidel Castro, I don't think ever played actually. He staged photos, but he didn't actually play in any of the leagues. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, we definitely had a lot more TTC only leagues this last year. That is also going to be an interesting thing to kind of for us to figure out. There are going to be more. Do I have more here? I think I had more stuff. There are going to be a lot more levels this coming year. We're going from 8 levels to 10. And so how that all shakes out and how much will be split. We had about 200. I think at our peak, we probably had about 220 teams live and running at one time. Maybe not. Maybe like 180 to 190 teams. People cycle in, cycle out, which is all good. Um, and I think, like I said, I think we had lower this year because a lot of people decided to go to a PAX only squad instead of doing a theme team. Um, and Laps on the fence whether he's going to come back and do PAX only leagues again. Um, but I think from the theme team standpoint, we had at certain levels 40, 50 players at a level, which means you always have 30 people at one level and then an extra league with 20 or so players in it. With a little bit more spread out, we're talking, what is that? So 8 to 10 is a 25% increase in potential distribution. Maybe not so much, maybe like a 20% at the end of the day if you don't cloud perfect league. Um, and so we may have, instead of having 50, we may have 45 at a level at the high end, and more teams of 30 with less drop over. So kind of being excited. I'm looking forward to AW as well, to your new theme team logo, and see what you got. So it's a lot of fun. If you want to get in on Discord and get ready, again, nothing's really set yet. Do I even have a cross promo in here? I'm telling you, I'm so slacking. You can get in on the Discord here and join. And again, nothing's happening yet. Next week, probably Monday or Tuesday next week, I'll put in the new Add My Theme Teams form. I do have it kind of set. Let's see, forms. So this year, again, you can have your ideas. There is a part in our Discord where you can put your idea, things you're thinking about doing, etc., which is, I think, called Theme Team Updates. And you can talk what you're going to do. But you have to wait until your team is actually in at least entry pool. You've got your 26 players compliant to go. Then you come in. We have an Add My Theme Team channel, and you fill out this form. They'll be in that link. They'll be at the top pinned. So add your theme team. It's creative. Don't enter your IDs yet, only when your team is active. Okay. When your theme is not, or also make sure themes should not be overly broad, right? If you have more than half the card deck, that's not a thing. Last year, some people did special edition cards, and that was probably almost half the cards in the game. So don't want to have that broad a pool. A smaller pool, like 500 to 1,000, is probably where you want to be. So as long as your theme's compliant, then it's really easy. All you gotta do is add in, let me know if you're gonna change things. Make sure to, if you're leave, let me know so I can catch you off the list. Put your username in, your team name, theme description, your Discord name so we can find you, the Twitch name. Add in your league you're currently in so I can easily just verify I'm getting the right addition to the friends list. And if you've got an inspiration for your theme, share it. I will take those things and make slides introducing new theme teams that I plan to do on the Wednesday shows. So if you've got it, flaunt it, show it off. If you've got details, let me know. If you want to ping me with your logo, I'm happy to do that on those. I'll try to make slides for everybody who gets in, and we'll have that part of our entree set. Yeah, that's not going to work, Cavicom. It's not going to work. Remember, it's got to be, it can't be all the best players in the game. Can't be all the cards in the game. I know you just want to join and break rules this year, Cavicom, so I can ban you. But hopefully we'll have a friends list. Again, I know I've been told the administrative tool will be back so I can administer the friends list again. And I'm looking forward to getting everybody in and getting us into league play starting on March 24th. Somewhere. That's right. The 24th. So I need to get everyone's entries in next week by the 23rd. 23rd and the 9th, I'll make a last call ping in the Discord and try to make sure you all get your entries in. And I'll update the admin list at that point and get us ready for our first week of Theme Team League play. And yeah, that is that. So if you've got questions, other things you want to learn, There is a wonderful change log that shows everything that out of the park has changed, the change list. And if you have not seen it, it's a giant list. It's a huge list of things, which you can get to right there. That's the Google Doc. Oh, Dusty Baker. I didn't mean to do that. Why is that showing up? Why is that showing up? So interesting. It's a card it's a player I'm thinking of trading for. Trading of Davey Johnson for Dusty Baker on my Dodgers team. Okay. That is so weird. Working. Okay. There we go. It is a laundry list of things. A lot of things in the core game, and I am playing the core game in an online league. A Dusty Baker theme team? I don't know. That's a kind of a fun one actually. No one expected the Dusty Baker. The card pool too large. EVC mispronounced names. Thank you. I am the MVP, the most valuable mispronouncer. Round of the third. It's a little. Someone did a Braves and Tigers last year, so Tigers and Blue Jays I think would not be too broad. I think 2 franchises is probably the max, especially when a franchise has such a long history. The Blue Jays has a shorter history, so I think you could get away with that. My question to you is, what's the tie-in of your Tigers and Blue Jays that makes it fun? So that like, is it just your favorite team, your favorite teams? You're from the UK. I think that's great. I'd love to find some way. I mean, Detroit and Toronto are not that far apart, right? Spores favorites. What's the Detroit and Toronto? 3 hours and 58 minutes away. They're separated in Lake Erie, right? What did that just do? I don't know what that was. What? There's got to be some other ties. Every franchise Evan Jackson has ever played for is a little broad. I don't know. I thought they were closer. What do you call this spit of land to Cavacom? This part here, because it's kind of like the bridge between Detroit and Toronto. You live right in the halfway point near London. I was just trying to figure out, like, what do we call this big spot of land? I love this Detroit pizzeria in Toronto. I don't know. I don't think it's all automotive area, but Lloyd Mosby's only teams ever played for was Detroit Tigers. Cavacom land. Cava's underboob. Oh. Tigers and Jays. You could do that. Southwest Ontario. Southwest Ontario All Stars. Detroit and Windsor. I like the who is it? Who only played there the only time? And I've lost it. Lloyd Mosby. Lloyd Mosby only played for Detroit Tigers and the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's see. Blue Jays and Detroit Tigers. I knew Baseball Reference would have something. Jack Morris, 14 seasons for the Tigers and 2 seasons for Toronto. Wells, 3-8. Tony Phillips, 5-1. This 3-8 is pretty good for David Wells. But you can see all the players that played for both teams. You could also just, it's not enough players. That's too small a pool. But if one of these players gives you like joy, then you could call it David Wells, Windsor. I don't know. It's interesting. Anyway, where were we? I got sidetracked. They played for others. So Lloyd Mosby, we're saying, is the king. Mosby, where are you? The only player to play for only Toronto or Detroit in his career? Is that possible? So there you go. I think that's the thing. I got to log in again and get rid of all these ads. Lloyd Mosby for the win. Okay, enough of ads. If I could just find my... Okay, questions. More questions coming through. Let's see if we can answer questions. I was scouting chemistry relationships on a card you own. Is there a way to scout chemistry relationships on a card you don't own? So I was doing more Combinator on cards you don't own. It's the card shop skep, but I don't think if you're asking about chemistry specifically, I think you still go into card shop and you could look at variant points or team chemistry points. And I'm not sure why it's not sorting by team chemistry. That's super weird. Shouldn't it sort by team? Oh, it's variant points. That's right. So if I want to show... no. I'm going to get rid of the variant here. That'll help. That'll show the chemistry points. So when you're looking for team chemistry, you can look by this. If you're looking for variant relations, then you can choose your specific one and you can see who's got the most points on figuring out which one is the relationship you want to do. All right, so if I know that Bill Dorn is 30 perfect points for 94 variant points, then that's a no-brainer. And you can always go through and say, I want to do anything with a max price of 100. And that gives you an idea of, and make sure your minimum price is at least 1. And now you can see, you know, the cost per variant point that you're doing for each one. And so again, also remember, yeah, down the road you possibly could do something on a variant you don't own. It would be nice to know that. That's a nice thought of a variant I don't own. These are the variants I do own, but for a variant I don't own, yes, there's no way to really know what those points are without doing it. So that is hard. And the same thing on chemistry. Yeah, which card rise in value when new cards are released? Yeah, I think that is an interesting, you know, just to understand. And again, there are only 280 non-live cards in the game right now, or historical cards. So This is not, when the launch comes out on Friday, you'll see a lot more values for almost any variant you end up pulling. You should have a path to get there. What's going to be available, I don't know, but um, that's the fun that we get coming on Friday. So hopefully that's helpful on that. I saw someone else asked a question and we got sidetracked. And a Hunter. Under Perfect Team, it's a question about the change. Under Perfect Team, it talks about game engine changes, including increased PBABIP importance. Does this mean that the game change and PT use different game engines? That is a question that I do not know. And a good question for the Debs. Oh, no worries, Skep. This is the only way I learn, and I've learned things from more streams than I usually impart knowledge. Let's see, PBABIP. So the base feature increased PBABIP importance, and in PT25, I think it's just the base game increased PBABIP importance. So looking back at your question, A Hunter, does this make sense? Oh, it's under Perfect Team. You're right. It doesn't talk about it in the main at all. So what you're asking is, because it shows it under Perfect Team, is that only impacting Perfect Team's game engine versus the game engine in the core game? And I don't know. I always assumed that they were the same game engines, but I don't know. It does show it for importing save games, yes, right? The player overall movement rating has reduced importance of PBABIP. Overall movement rating should be closer to the player's home run allowed rating. And so it does seem the opposite, right? Oh, it'd be helpful if I was actually on the screen that I thought I was showing you. Yeah, this is base game discussion of PBABIP. And this is the Perfect Team discussion of PBABIP. And I do not have an answer to that one. I don't know if Nicolino or Spore is here, but I know a lot of people have done, for example, like Franchise Time Machine, base game engine comparisons and experiments. And I don't know if these little signs mean that something. Again, I am very good at reading into things, bunk, but I thought that was interesting. The other thing that I think people may have missed, we didn't really go into auctions at all, did we? Let's talk about that a little bit more, about variance. But we should write that down ahead, or so don't forget to make sure we ask that question. No worries, Dr. Nastic is going to be on the main shortly. We'll get you on over there onto the main, and I'll be back. I may pop up on Friday. We'll see how things are going. Let's go take a look at roster management and manage cards, and let's go look at my existing variants. And let's just do none. And get rid of dupe. And why is it still not showing variance? Clear filter. So Bill Ullman, maybe I don't want Bill Ullman. I have the ability now to go put him on an auction house. And when you put on auction, you also have the ability to go through and quick sell on these cards. So that means that each card has a quick sale value that you can do. But before I'd go through and do a quick sell, I'd rather go put it up on an auction house and see if I could get something to go through. So those will be up for 48 hours once the beta is over, once we launch on Friday. That ensures over 48 hours people get a chance to bid on this Bill Ullman card specifically and see what they can get from it. Now, again, we just talked about the different levels of quick sell. Golds will be worth 2,500. Diamonds, I don't have any. But the numbers go up and escalate. So if you're looking for the quick sell of a value, you'll be able to go through and actually sell a variant if you do not want to upgrade it. I always found that one, I always wanted a variant to be able to hold on to in case I need it for a tournament. Having something that I could upgrade as a 70 silvers cap for a PTCS or something else, that might be very helpful. Although not a great card. But I also, but now with like duplicates, again, it's a 250 minimum on bronzes. So you're going to get a much better value for when you pull a variant at a minimum price than you would in past versions of the game, which is kind of nice. Why would you want to buy more than one card? So that's new to me as well. And my only thought would be that possibly you would want to use that card to feed into another variant. Exactly. So if I wanted to get 3 of the Fred Lins, things have moved. This is new. If I want to get 3 of these variant Fred Lins, because Fred Lin gives me a bunch of food for something else. And this is also something else to be known about, which is not maybe as well publicized. Variants will disappear. Let me make sure you see that. Whoa. Limited. Cards now available for variants for only limited time after they are released. From the store. From the store. They will not disappear from your inventory. Just, variants being available for cards will only be available, in pack drops for a period of time. If you imagine at one point this year, they took all the launch cycle cards and they got rid of them. So that what you got in variants were the most recent cards. So over time, I can imagine every month to month and a half, they'd go through and, anything that's over 30 days or over 45 days, those will roll off and no longer be part of the card pool of variants. So those launch deck variants that you get, if they're 1 or 2 that are really valuable, you may only see them for a short period of time and they'll get harder to get, but the new variants you do get from drops should be more valuable as they will grow with the cycle. So that's a huge changeover in where you're thinking about how variants are going to be dropped and their availability, both in terms of making sure what you keep getting in drops is valuable as the cycle continues, and what you do have already in hand may enhance in value because there'll be scarcity involved with those. And it may be that some tournament needs that specific variant that you don't have that would have been really good for that specific tournament in the future. So hard to really know, right, which ones to hold, which ones to sell, but it's kind of an interesting thing to kind of think through when you're talking about variants. I think that's a big change that's rolling through. And that's good. So that's kind of fun. So if you got any other questions, let me know. Always answer any questions you got. You guys have been awesome today. The mothership will be going shortly. I will take you radio over there. You will not miss anything. Dr. Dynastic will keep you going to get your additional drops from the mothership from the point that I raid over into him. So you'll be able to get those. I have been playing this version in the closed beta. Yes. I cannot say much about it. So about 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes, we'll go over to the mothership. So I've got any other questions you have for the next 6.5 minutes. I'll be happy to answer anything you got. It's been good. It's been, again, I think a lot of the time in beta is spent really focusing on the core game. And then you'll see more and more stuff for the perfect team later in the beta process. And you're seeing a lot now. I'm seeing things that I did not see, which is awesome. It's EVC and NYC bringing you the sounds of New York City. Thank you to Kavicom for making me wear a hat today. Little Expos hat. We do love you, Canada, despite what others may say. Always glad to have you. Yeah, they're very responsive to the bug tracking forum. Can you export your transactions? I do not believe so. Nice. Yeah, if you're seeing bugs, please be sure to add them in. Let's see. Where is the link for the bugs? Bum, 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 bum. Here. If you found a bug, if you see a bug, there is the link to the forums where you can add things in on bugs. And I think it's a great way of helping the team out. So if you find something, please let us know. Let them know. Sorry, I'm not part of the company. Yes. So at launch, everything will be reset. Let's see if I've got that here. I've got the details here. Right, this is the plan for Friday in case you've missed the launch plan. Yeah, enjoy all you can now, and then it's gonna all reset, and you'll start from the beginning. I can't help myself. I always am trying to like min max and optimize my V left V rights and start working on tourneys. But yes, everything that you see in the beta period will be wiped at 2 a.m. on Friday morning. At 7 a.m., everything will be opened up again. You log in using your same ID and password as in PT25 to get loyalty packs or register a new account from scratch. You can open packs, buy perfect packs, set up your team. The teams will not be put into entry pool until noon. So I don't believe tournaments will be open. Usually tournaments are not active for you until entry pool has been set. And they want to make sure people at Steam have a chance to go through the process as well. Steam is supposed to be live at 9 a.m. on Friday. And then they're going to be able to log in, get in. Again, also, just remember on Friday, expect some things to be slow. Everyone's going to be pounding the server at the same time, trying to log in. You got to wait for your email to get the verification. But once you're in the verification, once you've got that set up, then you can log in with the ID and password. You should be able to get in pretty quickly and open your starter packs, etc. Steam is coming out on Friday at 9 a.m. And if you buy by March 20th, you get 10% off the price. And the extras will be there. As long as you buy by March 20th, you get the early access benefits of the Diamond Hall of Fame Choice Pack, the Gold Pack, the Diamond Pack. You get the 10% off. And again, if you're a returning player, Kirby, you'll get your discount. Yes. Steam can be a little, again, we're always sitting there at 9 a.m. waiting, right? Like, if you don't need to be in exactly at 9 a.m., show up at 10 a.m., it'll probably be fine. But that's, again, The game doesn't really start simming, and you're not going to put an entry league until noon, and you're not going to be put over into the first sim of a game until 12:30. So you got time. At that point, I'm expecting at 12:30, some of the pop-up perfect drafts that have been planned will come up, and you'll be able to get in some other pieces. So that is the Friday attack plan. And then you just want to make sure you're getting things going. To me, I'm going to be focusing a lot on getting cards and tourney teams put together to get my economy rolling early on. Drops for PT26 should start sometime in Friday as well, assuming everything's working well. If launch has gone well, then they'll work on the Twitch part and get that all going. Tourneys. There are just so many different levels of tourneys. At launch, there will be live card tourneys. You'll have plenty of live cards. There will be iron tourneys. Oh, as far as the PTCS, you can see everything you need to see about the PT World Championship and tournaments as far as prizes in that document. Hopefully that opens. Let's see if that opens. It did. And these are the breakups for the leaderboards. So iron and bronzes will be with a category 1 next to them. Let's get that bigger so you can see. Diamond will have silver and gold. Silver and gold will be 2s. 3s will be daily open, weekly tournaments, daily perfect, and weekly perfect drafts. And so there'll be 6 different categories that you can qualify for PTCS. So that's for PTCS, PT World Championship, all the details there on that PDF in case you need it. But no, you will have your normal irons, your normal lives, etc. That go through. So I guess things like live tournaments will not show up in the 1, 2s, and 3s. They could be iron lives. They could be silver live tournaments. Like you'll be able to make an iron live team probably within the first 24 hours, right? I think there'll be iron live tournaments though, Skep, right? Diamond live tournaments. Like we've seen that already in the beta. Yeah, you if I'm having one team doing iron, one doing bronze, one could be. I don't think he'll be excluded though. So I think why do you think you won't be able to do live tournaments? You just be live tournaments based on gold. There'll be gold live tournaments or silver live tournaments. I think you'll still be able to get in. I don't see why you can't see live tournaments as part of this. Live was not a category last year either. It was iron, bronze, silver, gold, diamond, etc. Right? Iron had one and bronze had one. Silver had one and gold had one. So you can still do live tournaments. Okay, I'm gonna read you on over. Yeah, I still think with lives you could do all live tournaments. There's also a leaderboard, right? That you can get for live tournaments. That isn't a PTCS lane, but it's an actual additional leaderboard that you get every week that's additional points. Live last year, if you did live irons, it was just under the iron. You were going for the iron tournaments. If you were doing just live silvers, it would just do it for the silver tournament, silver category. This year, if you do any lives, you're going to get extra bonus points on top of it. The combined ranks does make it a little bit harder, but I see no reason why you couldn't have an all iron team going in and getting into the PTCS under 1. The issue is if the tournament includes bronze cards and you focus only on iron cards, then you may not be able to have the best bronze cards to compete at that level. And so I think there is a little bit of nerfing towards the higher end level. So anyway, I'm gonna take you on to the mothership. Glad to have you all here, guys. It was a very wonderful 400th stream for me. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you to all my subs. And again, don't forget all your wonderful affiliates. I am looking forward to seeing more of you. And yeah, we're gonna find out more. But if you ever got more questions, we'll have more to cover come Saturday. Looking forward to it all. And let me take you on over to the mothership now. And like you continue to get your drops and see what Dr. Dynastics got going on over there today. And he's simming 26, so I have to go find, which means there's going to be no drops yet. But I'm going to send you over anyway. If I can find him. There we go. Starting the raid. Thank you guys for being here. I will see you all on Saturday. I might pop up tomorrow at some point just for fun. Okay, take care, everybody. Thanks again. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you again to Cavicom for getting me to wear a hat today and celebrate the 400 streams. Take care, everybody.
We get the full lot